I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Fucking A.
Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and I know I said I was going to review a few films, and I will get to them. I promise that will be the next one, like Red Planet and Outland and such. But I really wanted to talk about this film. I reviewed it as part of my 69 favorite horror films, but some of them I wanted to just update. The original will still be there, but I wanted to just update some, because there's a few films I've been wanting to watch again. And this film is a very underrated film. It's a film not many people know about, and it is of unknown origin. The Terrifying Last Word in Home Invasion from the director of Tombstone and Cobra. Of course, George P. Miles is no longer with us. I know someone's going to say, well, Cobra, Rambo 2, Tombstone, those were ghost directed, so it wasn't really George Miles. It was either Kurt Russell or Sylvester Stallone. But you see this film, and Leviathan in my opinion, but you see this film, George P. Miles is a capable director, so I don't know why they had to do that. You know, I can't. George Cosmos has something to do with those films. I'm sorry, because you see this film, he's a very capable director. Now, of unknown origin, as you can see, stars Peter Weller as Bart Hughes, and the film was made. I love this cover, by the way. I remember real quick, like when I first heard about this film, I saw it for rental on VHS, and I saw this cover. I'm like, what is this about? Like the cover alone really is like I thought it was a monster movie. Like it was like a creature, like some large creature, terrorizing them, or maybe it's a werewolf film. I don't know what it is. Like, is a creature feature because of the claw marks. It's like, what is this about? Until then, you read the back. But yeah, the film was made in 1983, which was actually the year I was born. I should say it came out November of 1983, and is based on a novel called The Visitor by Chauncey G. Parker III. It was filmed in Canada. Now, Peter Weller, I think this is his first major role. Yeah, this is his first major role. This is well before Buckaroo Banzai, RoboCop, all those other films. And there's actually a commentary track with Peter Weller and George P. Miles. And of course, on the commentary track, Peter Weller does say stuff like, in the domain, you know. But I still love the guy. He's a wonderful actor. I love so many films. 50-50, RoboCop 1 and 2, Screamers, uh, Buckaroo Banzai I like, Leviathan, of course, you guys know I love that film. But of unknown origin, really underrated flick. Like I was saying, Bart Hughes, he's a guy who's working for a trust company, and he has this new gig that if he succeeds, he's going to go way to the top. He's going to make a lot more money for his wife and kid. Um, and something about like merging banks and stuff like that. And he only has 2 weeks, so it's a very stressful part. At the same time, he has a wife and, like I said, wife and kid. His wife is played by Shannon Tweed. Of course, you know who Shannon Tweed is. And his wife and kid have gone on vacation, so he's by himself at the house. The only problem is, it becomes sort of a Moby Dick story where there's this little bitty creature, more like a rat, I should say. And I know you're thinking, man versus rat. Was this the adult version of Mouse Hunt? But I don't care about. But I'm sorry, I like this much better than Mouse Hunt. It's much more effective than the idea of a man versus rat story. That's what it is, but it's better than that simple thought. It is what it is, but it's really well done because you really see how this guy becomes so obsessed with this thing that really the title fits this rat. Kids, it's not your normal rat. It seems a little bit bigger than usual rats, smarter definitely, like has a personal vendetta to own this house. Like Peter Weller, he's very meticulous about this house, very precise on the details of this house because he built it from the ground up. Like he renovated it. He treats the house very well. And you have a like nice opening scene where you see that he's a loving dad and husband, and he's good at his job, like the that picture there. But he just this rat just keeps fucking messing with him. The stuff he does, and I'll get to that, but Toys Because Miles, he does a really good job directing. Very finely done job at tension, suspense. For instance, like if Peter Wells making sandwiches, there's the toaster, and you just see a shadow on the toaster, and then it goes away. You're like, what the hell was that? It's a point of view shots he uses of the rat. It's either inside the pipes or inside the little ducts, or even inside, like between the bed of Peter Wells, like where the bed springs are in Peter Wells' bed. You even see the point of view of the rat going through, like crossing through the bed springs. And I could really see myself as this character. Like if you have that infestation problem, only this is turned up to 11, you can get really obsessed. And they know they're doing it because there's references to Moby Dick and stuff like that. And it's consuming his life because he can't sleep right, he can't do his job correctly, like he's falling asleep at his job. And some of the stuff this thing does, like I was saying, it starts off small, like he hears noise and his dishwasher is leaking, and the rat fucking bit through the hose, and it keeps elevating and elevating and elevating to the point of he gets so obsessed he's going crazy because he can't sleep well because the thing attacks him at night, or it keeps breaking shit. Uh, he puts like normal wooden traps, it wrecks the shit out of them. He gets like these steel traps, and like he's checking on it, and the rat actually moves the trap, so he's wondering where the hell it's at, and then because the rat moved it, he gets his hand stuck by the metal trap. He Middle of the night, he tries to go to the bathroom, he opens the toilet, and the rat is right inside the toilet, so it scares the shit out of him. And like I can imagine myself, like I'm just going to the bathroom, I open the toilet, and I'd be scared shitless too. And it tears up his mail, his pillows, all the food in his pantry, fucks with his electricity. Uh, he puts poison down. It doesn't touch the poison. He finds a cat, puts a cat there. It kills the fucking cat. And like I said, the director, he's a very capable job. Not only point of view shots, uh, like at times you see a very low close up of the creature of a natural rat, like its eyes or its claws and such. Uh, the thing I was getting at, he George P. Cosmatos does a really good job also with not only elevating the the obsession, how it just gets worse and worse and more crazy, but like the reveal of how the cat's dead. Like Peter Well opens the fridge, he's pouring milk, and something's dripping in his milk, and it's blood, and he looks up, and there's the fucking dead cat on top of the refrigerator. So that's what I mean. Like it just keeps getting fucking worse for this guy, and he's just going apeshit crazy. Like he finally goes to his job. It's like, you know what, you can do whatever you want, but I'm going to take care of this problem right now. And he starts training. He's and some people call, well, his character's being dumb in this, but the thing is, this title really fits because this rat is of unknown origin. I didn't need to know why this particular rat is so smart or so ferocious and like has a personal vendetta against Peter Weller or to own this house or how it knows how to do certain things. Like for instance, he puts a check, like you know those old record players that have a glass case. He puts a check inside the glass case, and somehow the cat got in, took the check, so the exterminator came by. He didn't do anything because there was no check, and because the rat crawled in, took it, and clawed the shit out of the check. And I love I also have some good lines of dialogue. He has this weird, interesting relationship with this guy who works at this other building, but he knows a lot about rats. And the guy says a good line where he says, you know, what your problem is? You spend only 20% thinking about him, but he spends 100% thinking about you because he's a rat. He's got nothing better to do. And again, it sounds silly, but it really... People think, oh, P. Will is being stupid, but I really feel sorry for the guy. I can see his predicament. I can understand being obsessed with someone that feels like you're going to go crazy about it. I'm sure all of us has. And if you have something that is not the norm, hence the title, of unknown origin, you go crazy too. And then especially worse with the fact that once in a while he has sort of dreams or daydreams or more like nightmares of if his family comes home and this problem is still here. And then what if it attacks his kid? What if it attacks his wife? So that's why he's even more gun-ho to take care of this problem once and for all before his family comes home. And, you know, it is his house, you know. He wants to protect his place as well, but he doesn't want his wife and kid to be hurt by this thing. So, you know, calling exterminators doesn't help. Poison doesn't, nothing helps. And just to a point where at the ending, it's fucking great. Because at times it's funny too, and it's meant to be funny. That it's on purpose. Even on the commentary, they mentioned part of it a little bit funny because he's doing so crazy. He's actually talking to it, like you know, he's actually, and it gets to a point at the end where it's so over the top, and it makes sense because it's elevated from simple stuff like okay, the wooden trap got a little messed up, to now, by the end of the movie, it's all out war on this thing, where he gets a bat, he puts nails and fucking steel traps and wraps it up, and it's like a fuck-off bat. And he's not taking it anymore, and he goes after this rat, and he tears the shit out of the whole place. The kitchen, he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. I love that character art where at the beginning he's very meticulous and, you know, you know, don't mess up the rug too much, to now at the end he doesn't give a fuck. You know, from the clothes that he wears. He doesn't wear his glasses anymore. Instead he's wearing this outfit. Like, it's the character art where he changes, and it really works. And P. Will gives a very stellar, I will say, one of his best performances in this film. That, and the fact it's very capably, wonderfully directed. You took what could have been a silly premise, and I thought made it very work, and a tale of obsession and a guy going crazy. But at the same time, you understand. I understood it, at least. I felt sorry for the guy. The fact that you have this abnormal rat. Who cares where he comes from? I didn't need a backstory on where the rat came from. Maybe his fucking cousin is Splinter. I don't give a fuck. All I know is this thing keeps putting the shit out of him, and he goes apeshit. He's fucking up the kitchen. He's fucking up everything left and right and center, and he's breaking, you know, anything. Because this thing, even there's a scene where it gets so bad he's on the hammock to sleep. And the thing actually claws through the ceiling and waits for the right time and tries to get to Peter Weller. And they don't show too much of the rat, which was the right idea. Because if you show too much of the rat, it would look obviously fake. But they cut enough so it really works. And so, again, he has enough. He's trying to hit it any way he can. And the thing now is, you don't piss off RoboCops. This is what happens. So now the rat's going over. He's bitching through the pipes. He's fucking with, you know, through the covers. He's fucking through everything. The thing's trying to hide, and he doesn't give a shit. It's hiding in the ceiling. He hits the ceiling, and it falls down. You know, and he's hitting the rat. And it goes from all over the house to the basement. And it ends with, I thought, again, it shows they know what they're doing more than people may think. the guy, Peter Weller, has a model of the house he built in the basement. And weirdly enough, this rat, the whole movie, been trying to take over this house. Its last stand hides in the little model of the house. So, like, the thing that represented what the rat wanted is now his last place that he's going to be. And just like Peter Weller wrecked his real house, he demolishes the model house. He demolishes the shit out of it and thus is able to kill the rat finally. And, you know, he's finally won his battle. And his wife and kid come home. And I love the last line. He's like, what happened? Oh, I redecorated. I think he said, oh, I had a party. That's all he just says. Like, I had a party. And then the movie ends, and it's simple, but it's very straightforward, but it's very well done. Point of view shots, practical, like, they don't show much of the rat, little up close of a real rat, point of view shots really well done, very interesting. And Peter Weller really sells his performance of a guy going out of his mind, being obsessed with this thing that is not your typical rat. It's abnormal. I love the art. Not only the art of the character, from very meticulous glasses, really nice clothes, to now just regular clothes. He's got a a miner hat on. He is, you know, no glasses. He's going apeshit crazy. He doesn't care about fucking up the house. He just wants to get this thing dead. Same thing with the arc of the events. It starts out very small. But then by the end of the movie, it keeps ratcheting up. I like that ratcheting up. That's what a movie should do. It should ratchet up to the end-all be-all war. And I thought it was really entertaining. It really is wonderful film that is very underrated. And even little bits like show a little bit of how he's going crazy. He gets invited to a dinner party, and pretty much all he could talk about in the dinner party is about rats, about, you know, the diseases they bring and what they can do and how dangerous they are and how some people think of them as gods. It like freaks out the dinner party. Like, Peter Weller, excellent job performance-wise. George P. Cosmatos did an excellent job directing. I have no problems with the film. The film is 89 minutes long with credits. It's not that long of a movie. It goes by a quick pace. And you just really feel for this character, and you see the arcs going on. You see the Moby Dick obsession in there. Only it doesn't end on a downbeat matter, which it didn't have to. It was very fun. It was very entertaining. It was very interesting. And I just wanted to talk about it again, because I know I talked about it long before, because I just got done watching it again. And it's a really wonderful film. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. If you're a fan of Peter Weller at all, this is a must-see. If you're a fan of 80s horror films, you know, killer animal films, whatever, it's definitely, I think, one of the best ones out there. If you're into something even a little bit deeper about obsession and stuff, I think this film could work too. A really wonderful movie. I 2 thumbs up, you know, 2 go play dicks up, just everything. I have no problems with the film. Just a really, really solid flick. So either way, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Stay tuned for more reviews.